I do need to go on the banners though at the moment. That's breakfast one.
The bottom one.
No, it's that one. Respect. Is that your phone?
RESPECT.
Find out what it means to me.
If it is, it's
If it is, it could be live, going live.
Chit-Chat Wednesday.
Good evening, Anne. I'm not going to turn the computer off. I'm sort of like sat where the radio is.
Your legs out
Good evening, Carnell. How are you, my lovelies? I hope you're all well. Good evening, Anne. I know it's a bonus getting us all three in us and Ruby on camera.
She never sits for me until I go live, and then she's like, "I want my mom. I want my mom."
He's gone to sleep. Do you know? Hey, beautiful lady. Yo, Mick, how you doing?
Hey, Carol, hey, Mick.
Good evening, everybody.
Oh, and dog, Ruby. Evening, Peter. How are you, my sweets? Cute dog, Claire. Cute dog. She is. She's lovely, our little Ruby. She's only around Claire because we're eating a tea till she realised we were live in 5 minutes, and then she decided to put her tea in the kitchen, and Ruby still thinks the tea's on table. That's why she's round her mom. Evening, William, my lovely. I hope you're well. We're good, thank you. Cornell, how are you, my sweet?
Yep.
Can you read?
Need my glasses.
He can't read chat.
No, I can't. Without my glasses.
You know, if I take my glasses off, I can't read which one, top one.
Yeah, it's only because you said Cornell.
My monitor's massive as well.
Come here. Oh, come here.
Are they?
Oh, they'll do.
They're only ones I can find. Put my hands on straight away. Look at you, covering your sheep's fanny eyes up. Hey, Carol, how are you, my lovely?
Hi, Carol.
They're blurry.
Are they blurry?
They've got fingerprints or something on them.
Well, I've not touched them. I've just passed them you. Do you like my nails, everybody? Do you know what I wish I'd have had done? I wish I'd have had a dragon's eye put on middle one.
Right, nice.
So then I could have had like a dragon's eye.
No, it makes it worse.
Makes it worse for you?
It makes it bigger, but it's still blurred.
You have to try mine?
No, it's not that. It's because I'm too far away from the screen.
Lean in then, like I do, and go,
just don't hit
hello!
The button. Julie!
Simon. Hey, Julie, my lovely, how are you? Thank you. Thank you for liking the nails. They are a bit dinosaur-y, I think, these nails. Somebody said they were like Slimer's nails. I don't think they're like Slimer's. I think they are good nose pickers. I tried it earlier.
You look like you've been picking nose with green.
No, that's it's more yellow. Evening, Tracy. How are you, my lovely? Well, Joe Max asked us to do a topic, and she's not bloody on, is she? So where's Joe Mac? How much were there? What, for my nails done? 35. £35 but
got more money than the same.
But I've bought them because I think I can do these myself.
Here we go.
I can do them myself, these, because I couldn't do the painting. The painting of the nails I won't be able to do. But the actual nails I could do. Thank you for sharing, Carol.
That's another £100 we're going to spend on stuff for Lindsay to say I can do that.
I can do that, and then I can't do it. No, I can't. I could do these.
I'm like that.
I could do these easier than others because there's no filing on these nails. They're just gel extensions. So it's yeah. I
had them
so that's going to be my next thing. I'm going to do my own nails. Save paying. But still booked in just in case.
So you know what you like.
Yeah, I know what I'm like. But we'll see. So we're on for a chit chat, guys. So who would like train John up? Do you know, I was going to train John up last time because I got all nail stuff, all jelly stuff and everything else. And yeah, it's I were going to put my nails on and John were going to do painting because my hands aren't steady enough. But we never got round to it, did we? So, yeah, my nail lady laughs at me. I can't sit still while the file comes out. That's why I will have gel extensions all day long.
Maybe I should go on one of them courses.
You want to do the gel extension course? This one's piss easy.
Today.
Piss easy. Hey, Antoinette, my lovely. So, yes. Oh, Gillian, thank you, my lovely. Hopefully we are going to be going out. It's been thundering and lightning again here today,
It's
guys.
been terrible. How you done at the table?
Our Jordan's, and it just went. She'd got in the shower, and I just went outside, and I thought that's never thunder. So as I got outside, it went boom, and I thought next door neighbour are out, and I like opened and closed door, and I went to Kerry. I says, I don't like thunder. Then it went and cracked it.
I saw it going dark. I knew it was coming, and then all of a sudden, this wind just came out of nowhere. Nearly took my patio door off because that were open.
No,
so I managed to shut that. The next minute, boom.
No, winter's coming. Oh, which film's that off? Evening, Karen, my lovely.
It's not technically a film, is it?
All right, which series is that from then? Winter is coming. You know nothing, Jon Snow. Hey, Debbie.
Oh, well, I don't.
Don't you know? Don't you know? Really?
No.
Everybody else knows.
Anybody else know which series we're talking about here? The winter is coming.
Don't say the winter.
What's it
winter's coming.
Winter's coming.
I have no idea.
You know nothing, Jon Snow. Come on, we've got to have some fans of this show on.
Remember, it's 30 seconds to 40 seconds behind, so...
Yeah, I know, but the fast typing...
Sit still.
Come on. Do you know, he just shouts at me. Thank you for sharing, Antoinette, my lovely. Wind's not good out of nowhere, especially...
There you go, Gillian's got it.
Gillian's got it, look. Game of Thrones.
I haven't seen it.
Game of Thrones throws, but no, Game of Thrones. And you ever seen it? Even
No.
Susan? Oh my
I
God.
started watching first season and it was just like full of incest and sex, and I thought I can't do with it.
Do you know that we put it on and I said to me and John both said same, it's just like watching porn the first season.
I can't.
The first season is a little bit raunchy, and then rest of it, it's just tits and a bit of fluff. You might see odd cock.
Odd one.
Karen, it's amazing. Debbie, it's amazing. You need to watch it, honestly. Once you get past the sex bit and the like nakedness of everybody,
once you get used to it, because you're like, oh, here she goes again.
Here she goes again. Do you know how many times can this happen? And yeah. But it's good. But no, Sons of Anarchy. That's another favorite.
I've seen Khaleesi's boobs more than I've seen yours.
I know. That's saying some of that, isn't it? When you see more boobs on TV.
Oh dear.
Hey dear. Are you watching the new one? We are. That's why I wanted to rewatch Game of Thrones, because while that one's waiting, we've watched first two two episodes. So while we're waiting for others to load in, we can watch that one. So then hopefully.
So what's House of Dragons?
House of Dragons, it's like the beginning.
It's before.
So it's like, the before period.
Game of Thrones started with
Lannisters.
Baratheon on throne.
Yeah.
Who defeated the Mad King, who were the one at House of Dragons. So it's like, it's gone back about 300 years before Game of Thrones.
I hate it when they do that.
It's very good, though. It's very good.
I know, when they go back, it's like,
which one? Hey, Kiaz. But yeah, so chit chat, what we're going to talk about. So we were supposed to be talking about stone tape theory. We've covered it a few times. So everybody in chat, what's your take on stone tape theory? If I said that right. So what's your? Sorry, I was thinking Sons of Anarchy. That's what I'm saying, Karen. Which one were it? Sons of Anarchy. Love it. Got to have a bit of jacks. Actually, who I do prefer out of it is Scar, that Scottish one. What do you call him? Chibs. I like Chibs, me. And Tig. Tig's. Have you seen it, Claire?
No.
Oh, it's very violent.
There's a lot of sex in that, I know.
I don't mind sex. It's just that we're just like watching a porno, and I thought I can't stick with this.
Claire, honest truth, mate. Get through first.
That's what Aaron said. That's what Aaron said. Yeah. He said stick with it.
First one. It's like Sons of Anarchy. That's
it wasn't embarrassing about that. I was just like, I can't be doing with it.
Well, it don't bother me. I just go on my phone and play a game while they're just at it, and then I'll just have my glasses on, end at nose, and look up like that, and they're still at it. So I'll just go back on my phone. Oops on it, says Gillian. So come on then, guys. Evening, Irene. Stone Tape Theory. What's everybody's takes on that? Liverpool's getting a thrashing. Spurs on TV, talking football. We can talk anything, so we'll go. I was watching women's
football last night. I'm watching porn on my phone and women's football on telly.
You're watching porn on your phone?
Oh God!
You said it, didn't she? She said she did. Yeah. Something's tickling my leg. Oh, it's okay. I think it's the cable.
Yeah, you don't sit still.
Do you sit still? Well, I've had coffee. I've had a cafe. We've done for his tea. We've done a Mackie D's. What were it? Cheeseburger. Double cheeseburger with a chicken burger inside it.
What you do is you buy one of them chicken mayo. It's just a 99p ones. You buy a double cheeseburger. So you split the double cheeseburger. So you've got a bun and a burger on one side and a bun and a burger on the other. You take the full chicken, including the bread, put that in the middle, put the other burger on top.
Slack it on top. Right nice. Like John says, you can't taste chicken, but you know it's there because the consistency, but it just works. It's really good. So we had that, and I had some chips, and then I had
Irene's got porn on satellite TV.
You got porn on your satellite TV, Irene? I think we have if we wanted to watch it. Anything goes, Julian. Anything goes. Jamie, you're my sex bomb, sex bomb, sex bomb. That's what Jamie's singing. It's not me singing it to Jamie. I can make you the best burger ever and chips. Irene, if ever you're over this way, we shall definitely get you cooking.
She's in UK.
She's not in UK, Irene.
That's what I'm saying. If she comes
to UK, yeah. So, Gillian, pick a topic for tonight. Let's get off the porn and let's get off the.
Yeah, mate.
Well, we are doing stone tape theory, sort of. So come on then, Mr. Brown.
So it's difficult to trace history of stone tape theory, largely because it hasn't always gone by that particular name. Researchers and theorists have been writing about the ideas central to the theory, though, for nearly 200 years. But it's only been within the last probably 50 years that the stone tape theory moniker has actually come about. And in the 19th century, there's a keen interest in examining how human activity may be recorded or left behind even after we departed. The people researching these ideas weren't ghost hunters looking for spiritual signals. Most were scientists trying to understand how the elements and our environments worked. Charles Babbage.
Send us a screenshot, Karen.
What?
The door decorating, she caught it all.
Oh. Yeah, so Charles Babbage was one of these, and he speculated about how spoken human words may remain in the air long after they were uttered.
Uttered.
What's uttered got to do with
you? Well, you uttered, and then you just like rolled your eyes at me.
Yeah,
it's like
because I'm thinking if words stop in air longer.
Yeah, my words. I know. That's why I laughed.
Our house is full of words flying about.
It will.
So yes, so it said that these words eventually become inaudible to most human beings, but all of our speech floats in the air with us forever. So according to Babbage, a few people could still interpret these inaudible words, and they had the power to unlock memories. So seeking out recorded memories of a place was part of many ancient cultures, but Babbage was likely to be the first person to write about what eventually became known as place memory to start with, back in the late 19th century with the rise of spiritualism. Science was increasingly being intertwined with the study of the paranormal, and researchers were regularly called upon to explain ghost sightings. Place memory quickly became a popular theory for spiritualists who sought to explain why an unseen presence could be heard during seances or uncovered by the gifted presence of a medium. So the concept of place memory speculates that people become linked to places for various reasons. Perhaps a place held a lot of meaning for someone when they were alive, or maybe they tragically died there under gruesome circumstances. At the time, many people believed that ghosts floated around us at will or attached to a certain person.
Like what Jamie's put in there, look, he believes it's energy trapped in between the bricks that can be played over and over again.
So on the other hand, place memory suggested that spirits became connected to certain places. This idea of a ghost becoming rooted to a site probably sounds quite familiar, because many of the contemporary theories about the paranormal, especially how the same ghosts tend to stay in the same place, is based on the concept of place memory.
So, like Jamie's put, he believes that it's energy trapped in between brick. But for me, it could be a carriage going down a road that somebody's memory was of them going down that road, and they could come back and live it. So is it just the wording of it being
I think it's just
stone, the stone tape theory?
You hear about, I think there's one near us, and I'm sure it's somewhere down Rivlin, and there's a young girl or that walks down this road.
But you can't interact with her. It's just
she doesn't know you're there. You know she's there, but she doesn't know you're there, and she just replays what happened to her.
Yeah. So it doesn't necessarily have to be inside a brick building or stones. That's my take.
It's like the monks that we saw, though, isn't it? Yeah. I think that was same. I think they were. I don't think they were aware that we were there.
No,
because they just walked straight past.
Yeah, they never even
stopped, did they? They just continued walking with hands like that, head down, and they just went. Yeah, it weren't like two went past and one stopped. It were just like bump, weren't it? Yeah.
But then I think as well, is it energy that can sort of like replay because they're like somewhere, or is it a rift in like space and time?
Could be
where you can actually see them, but they can't see you.
I mean,
so they're actually in their own time, but you're not. You're in your time, they're in their time.
Yeah, there's supposed to be a street in Liverpool. I can't remember what the street's called. But there's been a time shift that happens down the street a lot, where people have like been walking down, and then suddenly it's all changed, and they've gone back like to
somewhere in Liverpool, isn't it? It's supposed to happen.
I'm sure I just said that.
Have you? Yeah. Oh, sorry, I weren't listening.
See, I told you never listen to me. Just said the street in Liverpool, but I don't know his name.
Yeah,
I'm too busy. Thoughts in my own head. Karen's put an amazing catch, that one. The one where the monks were walking, Karen, or has somebody else put something in what they've seen?
They're amazing.
Yeah, feelings and emotions. Yeah, it could. Yeah, like you said, it's all linked to feelings and emotions.
I mean, place memory or stone tape theory, whatever you want to call it, it's been called a lot of different things. It's very closely associated to psychometry. The idea that you can learn about a person or place by touching an object connected with that person or that place.
Yeah, because I believe that you do like leave an imprint.
Yeah. Joseph Rose Buchanan came up with the term psychometry, which means measuring the soul, in 1842. He was interested in the impressions that people left on an object, but also claimed we could unlock and interpret those imprints with the right techniques. Although many paranormal enthusiasts are probably familiar with the idea today, like place memory, psychometry was very new in the 19th century, so 1800s. And the streets in Liverpool, by the way.
It's like over my head.
So, although place memory and psychometry suggests that ghosts may become attached to a certain place or a certain object, there's no explanation of why or how. As scientists continue to study the elements and develop the understanding of physics and chemistry, they struggle to find explanations for the supernatural. But it seemed to most people by the late 19th century that they were content to accept that ghosts were able to attach to objects. Besides, spiritualists were focused on perfecting their communication techniques. By the 1930s, place memory was still a popular explanation for the paranormal, for paranormal activity among spiritualists, but the theory was about to get broader attention. From that,
Mick's put, he's heard of one replaying jumping out of a window. Yeah. I mean, that's got to be. I mean, just to even see that.
I think like a tragedy like that, though. Something like that. I think we'll keep replaying.
It's like, you remember when you were saying it when we were talking about your mum and dad, and your mum's interested in it, but your dad's like very skeptic. And they weren't it with Matlock they were coming back from, or going to Claire? Where were they going?
They were coming back from Ashbourne.
Steve.
They were coming back from Ashbourne and they were going into Matlock to call for some tea to nip some food because Dad's diabetic. So I think it was if I get it right, I think it was about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 5 o'clock in the afternoon, something like that. So they'd been to Ashbourne and thought, right, we'll stop in Matlock, Bath, get some food for my dad, obviously, and then drive home. And that's when they saw the ghost plane, which was they couldn't believe it. My dad thought he might have caught it on the dash cam, but he didn't because it weren't high enough up. But my mum's, they both said it was silent. They heard no noise, but they just saw it coming at them. My mum says it was like coming right towards, like telephone wires and that, pylon wires. And mum says they thought it was going to hit them. But she says it was that close. They could even count the rings underneath. How many rings were on the actual, underneath of the wings.
Yeah.
And I looked it up and it's on my phone somewhere. I actually got the name of the plane just through their description.
Wow.
And as it happens, loads of other people have seen the exact same thing.
It's been well seen.
But I was just like so jealous.
You have to share that in members, Claire.
So jealous. But yeah,
I'd have been jealous.
I said to my dad, I think I'd have crashed my car. But we said
crashed my car.
It was if it hadn't been so silent, it was just real, and then it just vanished. It just vanished, but she says just silent. But she said obviously it were an old warplane.
Yeah.
But they could just describe everything about it.
Yeah. But it's the same with anything. I mean, that's coming from Sky. So again, that stone tape theory we're talking about doesn't necessarily need to be.
Yeah, because there has been one that's crashed out there. There has been one that's crashed out there. So is it the one that crashed?
It could be the one because there is a few.
And if it was coming down,
isn't it near Lady? Would it have? Isn't it like top at Lady Bower? Is it or? No. I know this. There,
obviously, my mum said it was coming really low, like at them, so it was obviously on its way down. So I think it might have crashed. And obviously, like you say, it's just replaying, but loads of people have seen it round about the same time as well.
Wow, about that 4 o'clock-ish time period. That's interesting, isn't it? Shall we go and sit on road?
Not on certain dates, but around the same time. My dad's quite a skeptic.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
No, not after that. Irene's put her on condo. Can I have one, please? Thanks.
I can't talk proper, Mick.
Condo, as spirits jumped from the balcony on the 11th floor, and it's a suicide condo. My son kept seeing this residual act, and 17 plus people have jumped off that building. Wow. But that, to me, that's like an emotional one, that, isn't it? That's going to be because of that height of the emotion that person would have been in at that point. For me, that's sort of like a difficult one. You know, it's very difficult. I mean, we did that talking about suicide the other day. We were on about this. And I don't know if it were me and Claire that were talking about it, or it were me and somebody else, or I've just been earwigging on somebody's conversation. I can't remember.
Could be any of them.
But it could be any of them. It could even be me and you. It could even be in a dream where I've dreamt this conversation.
Well, it'll be me and you, because you don't listen to a word I say.
But we were talking about how people don't talk about taboo things, such as like suicide, such as like, I don't know,
it weren't me, but I can remember
death or something. Can you remember? Were it you, Claire?
No, the other one that we were talking about taboo was people, but that one that you put in thinking that you said, you know, about people that don't believe in supernatural and
subjects. That book you were reading.
No, it was before that. It's a conversation. It might have been with Yolanda. It could have been Yolanda when I've been down at Marketplace or something. But I know I've had a conversation with somebody. I'm sure I have.
it could have been feelings. You know what my memory's like.
I know. But yeah, and it's like all these taboo subjects that really we do need to sort of like talk about.
Like taboo.
I used to love taboo. I hated Lemonade though. The book you were reading, John's just we're in that one as well, weren't it? Hey, Julian on Facebook.
We do need to talk about taboo subjects.
We do. I mean, again, it's like we have violent death. See, there's different people. Different people will have different ideas what a violent death is. Do you know? And for me, like my dad at 31, to have an heart attack, that were a violent death for me. For him to have an heart attack that young. But then you look at something else that's like suicide and other things going on along them lines. But just because it might have sent back, just because that memory is coming out, or people are like Irene says, you're seeing the jumps, doesn't mean that person's energy stuck there, that they're replaying it. You're just replaying a memory that happened there. It's not.
I think any death that's like, I think any death that's what's the word I'm looking for? That causes someone a lot of pain, anguish. I think that is classed as violent death. So, be it natural causes or whatever, if they're in that state, then that to me is still a violent death.
Definitely. Susan's put, years ago, we was on a motorcycle coming from Bamford to Derwent when we saw the plane really low, and as it went over the trees, it disappeared and was silent. I wonder whether, Susan, because, you know, coming from Bamford to Derwent, it is sort of, is it going out that way like Ashbourne? If it's coming down, it would be, wouldn't it? Because I'm sure Derwent is where the planes are, where the crash is, isn't it, at Derwent?
Yeah. Derwent
Valley.
Area, yeah.
But planes have been said to be seen around there and at Lady Bower, because they're more or less next to each other, aren't they, Derwent and Lady Bower? I think it'd be interesting to go down and just do a night at watching skies, I'm not saying it'd be an investigation. But
there's been a lot of crashes out there, aren't they? Because obviously there's airport, and there's a lot of high hills and it's low visibility and stuff, and
everything into it. Japan is
trying to see if I can find that plane. Go on,
you have to find. See if you can find it. Put it in members with history and everything, Claire. Japan is 90% haunted. Can't do investigations here. It's just too dangerous. I respect that, Irene. I respect because that's part of belief and culture as well, isn't it? But I wouldn't say for me personally, I don't know about you and Claire, I wouldn't say somewhere is too dangerous.
Yeah, it depends what she means by dangerous.
I think I don't know if she's talking about that.
Could be with culture,
in dangerous,
or it could be just that the area.
Yeah, what do you mean by dangerous, Irene? Do you mean by the people around, the living people that are around there, the places where it's actually took place or the energies themselves. A plane was found in Area 51. When was that one? There's a woman that's been around a lot at Japan. There's only one place where, well, there'd probably be a few more that I could mention, but there's that woods, and I don't know if that's in Japan, that forest.
I think it's in Japan.
That's so sad.
That's on my bucket list. I want to go to Japan.
But are you wanting to go to the forest or to Japan to visit?
No, Japan to visit.
Japan to visit. Well, you never know. One day, Claire, in your camper van.
You get a camper van there.
Go on, boat. People have investigated and died doing so, and the energy is negative. Suicide forest is dangerous to visit. Yeah. I mean, there's two sides to it. I think for believers and non-believers. I think those that don't believe, it doesn't matter where they go. Doesn't matter how non-active it is to active. I think if people don't believe, they're going to have a complete different opinion, because I believe in stuff like that. I do believe that there is places that have got negative energies there, and I've not personally been anywhere to experience anything that's dangerous. But again, like you said, with suicide forest, I could imagine that would be a very sullen. Is it sullen? Is the word?
Thing is, as well, I mean, if there's new suicides, I mean, you're connecting to people that have got living families as well, aren't you?
Exactly. Yeah, you're collecting to a lot, aren't you?
But yeah, can you imagine that energy?
You go on Stone Tape Theory, what we're talking about, and you go into a place like Suicide Forest where the energy there is going to be
really
people who have committed suicide, so it's going to be a very depressed atmosphere.
Yeah.
If the person that goes there is quite empathic and absorbs that energy, then
yeah, I couldn't go in.
Cause somebody to kill,
to feel that bad. But do you know, in that book I was reading, when I read that chapter the other day, and it were mentioning about suicides and stuff, and it actually said, and I'm not saying this isn't this. I'm not saying this is everybody. This is just part. But some people, I presume, aren't depressed. It's just that things get, because they're happy, they'll go out, they interact with people. Somebody that's going to commit suicide doesn't let anybody know. They don't come on social media. They don't ring the mom up and say, "Oh, I'm gonna take my own life." Do you know what I mean? They do it silent and they do it out of way. The ones that do ask normally definitely need some help, because they're calling out for it. But the ones that, especially when you're reading it in books and topics and stuff, the ones that take their own life normally are very outgoing people, and that's why it's such a shock when they pass. And in that book, like I said, that we were reading, it was saying that it's because it's the head, it's all this, they can't get the head straight and they can't see that tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? But it doesn't necessarily mean they're depressed just because they've took their own life. It's just that coping mechanism that there's a difference to being depressed and coping. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, it's not everybody has to be depressed to take their own life, but I think that's how we look at it, because I think to make it rational for us, we have to think, God, they must be in that dark place.
Depression just don't hit you like that for you to do that overnight. Depression goes on for a while before you get to that stage. It builds up, it builds up, it builds up, it builds up. I had a friend that took his life, was it not last year before, youngest self. And I would have never.
Same with me, weren't it?
No, there were no signs, there were nothing. And I think he just got himself into a situation that he couldn't see his way out of and just made that decision.
Yeah.
There were no leading up to it. It just happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like Irene's put, we don't go there because people are trying to release the pain.
Yeah.
Samurai warriors who committed suicide. Well, samurai warriors, they used to have a code, didn't they? They weren't allowed to get captured or lose, so they were killed. They would fall on the sword and just kill themselves. So yeah, a lot of samurai warriors.
I wonder how many did that again.
Suicide.
Do you know,
That's
like
a good idea,
I know that's like the samurai warriors and stuff.
But then you've got
them. But what about when
kamikaze pilots
yeah.
and things like that? So you know what I mean?
So
There's a lot of tradition in Japan of we honor. It's not. It's to do with an honor thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, like you say, if they fight in wars or whatever, how many?
Tell me if I'm talking at me. I don't know. I might be wrong. That's what I believe I've read somewhere.
Subculture.
Honor and everything.
Okay, I'm going to put that up on screen. It's not one. I've seen people posting about it on, like when they've gone over and they've like done YouTube videos. And I can't watch. It's not one that I like. I'd like to watch. And I'm not being funny, but there is some idiots out there that do fake what they're seeing. It's not legit. Do you know what I mean? So you have to just be careful what you watch. So that's your stone tape theory. Go on then, Claire, start a topic. Throw her under the bus.
Always throw me under the bus. I should be prepared for being thrown under the bus, shouldn't I? Should have like sheets of paper here.
You should.
And I am. So what can we talk about?
Irene's just put she agrees with you. Yeah.
Right. So
if anybody's got a topic, put it into chat.
I think we've covered this before, but we're going back to moon again, aren't we?
To moon? We're going to moon.
We're going back to moon again.
Yes.
Why is it taking us so long to go back up?
From the
Do you think that they did see an alien on the moon the first time they went?
See, I don't know because, and I'm only going through conspiracy theories here because I've read a lot about this. But apparently that first moon landing didn't happen on the moon. It were in a TV studio.
Yeah, I've read that.
I've seen that too.
Because
you can see like a reflection.
When they walk in, the dust or sand, whatever it is, going up and then falling back down again. It'd only do that if there were gravity, and there's no gravity on the moon, so it wouldn't fall back down again. Different things like that. And apparently there's supposed to be evidence out there.
Weren't it all to do with different countries as well?
Yeah, to do with well, it was first country to get to the moon, weren't it? And America wanted to be first country, so apparently they faked it. But I don't know. I don't know for definite.
Yeah, I've seen one as well. Where it shows you a shot. I don't know if it was a photo, and you can actually see a reflection, like, and you shouldn't have.
For me, I think that's why it's probably took so long for us
because we've never been
to get back to the room, because we've never actually been, and technology's only now got that far forward that we're able to do it. Do you know? And I think that's why we haven't been back before, because technology. And obviously, since internet turned up and all social media and everything, it's more difficult now for them to start faking things.
Yeah. Whereas though back then you didn't have it, did you? You could have done anything. So have we ever been to the moon? Though?
I don't know.
Is it just the robot thing that we've had on the moon?
Have we been or haven't we been?
So take it that we haven't been then, and it's just a robot up there on the moon that's taking photos.
One thing that I do like, and I really need to look more into it. I saw a photo not long back, and they took. I'm sure it's the moon, but it might not be. It might be another one at planet.
See, it could be Uranus.
I've seen Uranus.
Not a pretty sight.
And there's like structures. You can see structures like a pyramid and
Uranus.
Uranus. No, on this planet or on moon. There's actually structures and buildings you can see from these photos.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of structures on moon.
River.
Not physically.
All I know on that one.
Yeah.
Not coming on.
I have seen a few structures.
Why aren't you coming on a chat with me?
You can't be serious.
I can be serious.
I saw something weird. The other week I was sat in paddling pool with Aaron. No, I weren't with Aaron. I went in early. I was working from home and it was red hot and about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I thought I'm going to have half an hour. I went out, had a fag and a cup of tea, and I sat in paddling pool for half an hour. And I saw something in the sky. And I thought, what's that? It was quite high up. It was white in colour but funny shaped. And I thought, is that a bird? And I thought, it's too high up to be a bird. And then a bird flew across. And this was sort of like floating. And the bird obviously was flapping.
I love that. I love the flap.
And I thought, could it be a drone? And I thought, no, it's too far up. And then all of a sudden it just went, gone. So I told a couple of people and that's it.
Yeah.
I thought people are going to think I'm crazy. And then Afi came home 2 nights ago and said that him and two of his friends that were up on farm actually saw the same thing last week.
Wow.
I'm like, So what is it?
People are going to say, could it be a satellite? No, because if skies were clear,
No,
skies,
not
a satellite dish. But then again, a satellite dish isn't going to go and shoot, is it?
It was just there, and it was like it was tramming, like faster than an aeroplane. Yeah. But obviously, when an aeroplane goes fast and you see it in the sky, it don't go boom. It moves slow.
You've got the trail, haven't you, coming from?
There was nothing. It was just moving, and then all of a sudden, it just went gone.
Do you know what I'd do? I'd scour some of these, like UFO sightings, UKs, and I would have a look because I even checked my plane scanner and everything. There were no planes. No planes.
But a plane wouldn't have done that anyway. It weren't right shape. It just weren't moving the same, and then for it to just woof, it would just went.
Just gone.
And then for him to say that they saw it last week.
Because like you said, if they saw it last weekend on farm.
And I saw it a few weeks ago in paddling.
A few weeks ago. Don't forget, where you're looking at it, somebody in like London could be looking at that same spot. Just because it's above our head, you don't know how wide or how vast. So I would look back and put any sighting, put the date in Google and put any sightings that day reported. Or any
weird. I mean, it's not often that you sit looking at sky in daytime, is it? Because theirs were at daytime as well. It went at night. Yeah. But because I was sat in the pool, I was like laid like that with my head on the back of the pool looking upwards.
For aliens to visit in daytime because everybody's busy. So like you said, whereas at night time, somebody sees red and blue, purple lights in the sky, you're going to be more looking.
That they'd seen it last week. I was just like, what?
Yeah.
I described what I'd seen and they're like, yeah, that's exactly the same.
You'll have to make sure next time when you're out and about like that, especially in garden, on a clear day, make sure you've got your phone outside on you so you can.
Really weird.
Yeah.
Really weird.
I'm not changing the subject, but Irene's put, there is a beautiful beach that is haunted, too scary. During World War II, soldiers used to rush on the beach and die. It's a park now and you can't visit after 9 p.m. People have died and people have died. No, and they're missing. Nobody's. They're missing. That's an interest. See, that's something I'd like to read up more on. Do you know what name of the beach is, Irene? So we can do a bit more history on that. Antoinette's put driving down M25, 11 p.m. So 6 orange lights just hovering. I wish I took a pitch. It was in the paper the next day. Wow. A lot of people won't talk about UFO sightings because they think, well, they're going to get laughed at. But just because you're not saying that it's a UFO you've seen, you're saying you can't explain what your eyes have just seen. No. And to me, it's nothing to be laughed at. That. No. I mean, I can look at something in daytime and it can be in front of, and I still don't understand what I'm seeing. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, you've got to be very open-minded, haven't you? Irene's put, we have a celebration in September while we watch the moon and eat sticky rice and watch the rabbits pound sticky rice on the moon. Oh, what are you trying to do?
Oh, we're on about moon, weren't we?
Yeah.
Well, this is not
I'd love to go to moon.
All right.
Well, this is different pictures, but I can't save the pictures.
Which one's the one that they can see like a pyramid shape? Is that Mars or Moon?
Mars, yeah. So I'm gonna see. The thing is, I'm gonna try and share screen, and we'll see.
See, John's going to see if he can share.
I love space.
Share screen.
And it's fascinating.
No, window. It's that one.
That one.
That one. So
can everybody see that now?
It's this picture here looking at. But I need to try and I don't know how to zoom in. So
just click on the screen a minute.
Yeah, that. So that one, look, they're saying it's the mermaid. Before there was Curiosity, there was a Spirit rover which captured this image of they believe it's a mermaid on Mars.
I don't know how that's a mermaid because I can see legs. I don't see a fin.
That looks like an iguana, they say.
It does.
This looks like some type of spaceship. They're saying there, that black.
It does.
That looks like a swan's beak to me. It looks like a furry animal with a beak.
They're saying that in between them two rocks is a squirrel.
Oh, yeah, I can just see that. It don't look like a squirrel. Looks more like a guinea piggy type animal, doesn't it? Looks like Bigfoot.
There's like a ghost-like woman. Look.
Now, that's interesting, but to me, that looks like it's in sand. That looks like sand round it, doesn't it?
That's sand round it, but that looks like it's walking through sand, not...
Well, it does, but it depends on how it's been...
It does.
How it's been taken, doesn't it, you know?
That's the pyramid.
Yeah.
That you can see on Mars.
That's awesome.
Alien hunters say this pyramid is roughly the size of a small car and is believed it may be the tip of a much larger pyramid buried underground.
Yeah, it does look like.
Can they ever get anybody up to Mars to have a look to check this out, or can't people land on Mars?
Time, no. I don't think the atmosphere.
I'd love to get up there.
Conditions at minute.
Well, they did it in Total Recall, didn't they? We lived on Moon in Total Recall.
It's supposed to be a floating rock, look.
Okay, because you can see its shadow underneath.
Yeah.
Wow. That looks like a crab-like object. It looks like a spiral. Can you see the spiral on belly? Point where arrows so people can see. So you see the spiral on the body, and then you see like little legs coming off it. And they're saying it looks crab-like, clinging to its side at cliff. Soldier's helmet, that, isn't it?
Yeah, they reckon that's a soldier's helmet.
I mean, think about it. If like aliens have been down on Earth, what's saying that they haven't come down and found one of these helmets, took it back up, and it's like,
what does that look like?
Dropped it. That to me looks like a skeleton's head. Well, it looks like an alien's head. There, look there. You can see. Put your hand
I can
there.
see it.
You can see nose. You can see eye. It looks like that's a cheekbone, and they're like, yeah.
I mean, some of these could be pareidolia, but some to me look like real.
This is it, though, isn't it? This is where John, apparently, we come from Mars. Can't be asked. Good evening. Yeah, it is. Men come from Mars. Women come from Venus.
Won't surprise me if we all came from Mars, destroyed that planet, come to Earth, and now we're destroying this one.
Yeah. As a young teen, this is Steve. As a young teen, I was camping with friends and saw a green and red light above the hills, and they both moved back and forth horizontally. We freaked out, and once we calmed down, figured it was helicopters doing search and rescue. But just as we started to discuss this theory, the green lights flashed and disappeared, and just after the red one did the same. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a female figure, look.
Yeah. Sitting on rock. But it don't look mermaid, eh? Does it?
I just find it so fascinating.
It is interesting.
That you see like a picture of a pyramid, and that is not pareidolia, that is a pyramid. And then we've got them down here, and then obviously you've got Egyptians drawing aliens in the hieroglyphics. So did aliens come from Mars and show them how to build pyramids, you know?
Yeah. Sending love across the water. It is fascinating because it's just like you can't. Yeah, you can't. I just wish there were more. Like you said, I mean, that little thing there that's taking photos.
That's called curiosity.
Curiosity. Ask her what she wants, Gillian. It's Gillian looking at herself. Bless her. I think Alison and even Patricia, Alison and Laura, I think you're in the same area, I think. Because Laura's in Ontario, and so is Alison. So we've got two in the same area. It's a big place, so you might not know each other.
No, but one's in Ontario,
bless
Canada,
you, Laura.
and one's in California.
Or is it two different places then?
Yeah, one's in Canada.
Oh, bloody hell. Do you know, me and I need to learn my history. Right, so what's put, Steve's put, did aliens come and show the ancients technology, or are we the aliens and we came down and took over the planet from a different life form? Do you know, I think that's quite an interesting theory. I mean, I do believe we're from aliens. I don't
think we're clever enough for it to be the other way around.
No, I do believe that we are alien species, and I think that whether we were dropped here,
definitely dropped on your head.
Yeah, they dropped me from moon. But I definitely think that, and I don't, and it's not that I believe in Scientology, or because that I know that's the kind of belief, alien belief. I don't believe in any of that. I think Scientology is not very good, but that's my personal belief on that stuff. But I do think that we are more aliens and alien related. Whether we come down on one of these ships and somebody decided to stay, and when they mated, they found that they produced
a disaster,
different climate, different climates, or a different atmosphere, whatever. And because the air were breathable, we sort of like adapted over years. I'm not saying we'll first look like this when we come on. I think that's why you get them people, you know, when they're going back and you get people like coneheads and stuff like that. I think
elongated skulls.
Aliens. Yeah, I do.
It's like Stargate. I find that quite fascinating because that gives me a lot to think about on there.
Yeah, when they're going
that's
through
really well.
Yeah.
I think it's really well written.
I come from my mum's belly. Actually, I come from my dad's willy first.
Oh dear.
But yeah, I think that's a really interesting one, Steve. And I do think
that is. It's food for thought.
Steve's put, we could have come down and wiped out a race that was peaceful and more intelligent, and then started the human evolution instead of living with them and advancing civilization quicker. Possibly.
I think that we're getting too good for us boots, though. I think we're making far too much technology that can cause more harm than good. We're just getting too advanced.
But when you look at technology, some of the technology we've got, who's come up with this technology? Because there's nobody brainy enough to come up with all this stuff on their own. No, they're not. It's they found it's aliens that have come down and given us this technology. I don't think the human man is capable of some of the... Good evening, Joe. You've missed the stone tape theory. But yeah.
Your subject now, Lindsay.
Yeah.
Lindsay under the bus.
But yeah, for me, I do think that I think that there is. But then again, I don't believe the government's the government. I do believe that there's somebody higher than the government doing their toll.
Technology nowadays, I believe, is down to humans.
Yeah, the puppets that have been put in place.
Years ago, you've got to look at hundreds and thousands of years ago when they built pyramids and things like that. How did they know
to do them though in a pyramid shape?
They've tried replicating it, haven't they, without any technology, and they can't do it.
And them bricks for pyramids or stones or whatever, they were carved. They're all shaped. Well, we know yourself, if you're going out into like Derbyshire and you're going with rock. Oh, you don't see a rock like that. So these have been carved, you know. into place. So how did?
And they're all placed, aren't they? In a position where they're facing a certain
Is it
constellation. And I can't remember what it
strategically?
is. Yeah,
They're all placed
they are.
strategically. Yeah, so I can't say. I've said it once. I can't say it again.
No, I'm not even going to attempt it.
Yeah, no, I can't say
yes,
it again. But yeah, it started from Roswell. Can't be asked. So yeah, do you know? I think it started before Roswell. Personally, I think it goes back years in Mayans and
a lot of alien sightings were about when the war was about, wasn't it? World War One, World War Two.
Yeah.
I think it was more World War Two, weren't it? That a lot of sightings were seen.
Yeah. I mean, Roswell incident, the first microchip was invented after the Roswell. But again, that's what I'm saying. There's that other part of technology coming in.
But the thing is as well, because I watch a lot of these like programs, I do know that Hitler was dabbling in trying to make flying saucers, weren't he? He was trying to create one. Hitler. He had an underground. Yeah, he had an underground facility. Yeah, it's still there. It's like a circular thing. And yeah, it was trying to make alien technology, flying saucers.
Yeah.
It was also trying to time travel.
At that time were very into alien technology and
they were. I remember Jon saying that.
They were also trying to time travel, weren't they?
They were
trying to make super soldiers and all sorts.
It was, but yeah, I've seen them actually visit this place.
I mean, I can't see what it is, but I remember once talking to a guy, and this guy served in Second World War, and he'd done a lot of research about Germans and Nazis, and I'm sure it was Mengele that was the doctor one of the main doctors in, and apparently a lot of, I'm not saying the work he did, because the work they did and the experiments and who they did it on were brutal, and they were just so wrong. But the actual advancements that they made in medical knowledge during that time that's still used to this day is quite unbelievable.
Just horrible the way they did it.
Horrible the way they did it.
Oh God! I mean, scientists, they got captured by America, didn't they? And they actually worked for America after that.
Yeah.
Carried on with the technology. So, have we made flying saucers?
And what? We made?
Have we made them?
Yeah? We could have. We could have. I wonder if aliens leave bags of poo about.
How many?
See, that's a lie though, isn't it? Because if Buzz and them never got up there, have they left the poop on moon?
Who knows it's on moon though?
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm still on fence whether they went on moon or not.
Nah, I just think like.
To be fair, at that time,
Neil Armstrong though,
could have.
No, I think the technology.
Neil Armstrong
could have got them up there, but I think once that had landed, I don't think there were technology to have power to get that to take off. I don't think they'd have got back. I think it'd have been a one-way trip for them.
Yeah.
Because they can't get out of the outer belt.
That would happen to Benny.
What's he said?
He says that he thinks that we can't get out of the outer belt.
We are spinning at 28,000 miles an hour.
He don't reckon that we can get.
I see what you mean. So if we're spinning at 28,000 miles per hour,
he doesn't believe that we can
through that and powered through it.
Yeah, he don't believe we can actually get off.
But it's an interesting thing, though. I mean, you've got a robot. I mean, you don't know. Would they use like a nuclear power or something to get themselves up there? You don't know, do you?
Yeah.
Jo thought she were hearing a ghosty then. She's put who else is talking. You should have said nobody.
You're asking you.
Oh, quiet.
It's my other half, Jo.
Oh, dear. I'm glad you said it was Sinclair. I thought I was hearing a disembodied voice. To be honest, I thought I were until I saw Claire's eyes go up to the side, and I thought, no, that's Alfie talking.
Like I said, we like watching these kind of programs.
But you know, we do though, don't we? We watched all these programs and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just my brain just doesn't absorb it all, and then
I
when we're finished,
but I forget it all. Yeah. I forget it all. I'm right interested, and I'm like, yeah, and then I forget what. Yeah. I do like watching. I think they're fascinating.
Yeah, but like you said with Stargate, is there somewhere? Where have they got this idea of this ring that you can walk through?
Going through someone's ring.
No, I'm just talking about. I'm talking about Stargate. Not Stargate the Cloud, but like the Stargate the series. You know, when you see like the series stuff, and you've got like that thing and you've got all these like different symbols and stuff that you have to use and stuff. Where's all this ideas coming? It's coming from somewhere.
It's amazing. It really gets you thinking.
Yeah, it does. I was trying to think actually what Mork and Mindy did, because Joe Mack put on Mork and Mindy, and Mork used to do something, didn't he? What did he used to say? Nanu. That's what I wanted to say. Me too. I thought someone else was coming on secretly.
Sorry.
Oh, Carol.
He usually keeps quiet, but when it's something that he's passionate about,
interesting. Yeah, but that's the thing, though. I mean, for me, this subject, it does. Mm-hmm. What are you smirking at? What are you doing?
Nothing. I ain't got a drink.
So you're going to fetch one, or you're going to make one?
I'm going to make one.
Well, I've had a cup of tea, I've had a milkshake, and now I'm having chocolate milk.
Evidence in your hand.
Are you having what? Chocolate milk?
Oh, I love chocolate milk.
You can have my cold tea. I'll share. I don't want a drink. I've got this Coke. Earth calling Orson. Earth calling
Orson.
Orson. What were it? Orson coming in or something daft like that?
Oh dear.
Oh, I just got that horrible buzzy feeling in my ears. You know, you get like I've got like a buzz going off in my ears. So now what we're talking about then, I don't have to pick a topic. Who is to say that science fiction stories aren't actually from someone's imagination and aren't totally a recollection of a past life experience? Could be. I mean, you've got BFG and giants. Who's to say that years ago they weren't giants that kidnapped children?
They found giants, haven't they? They found their remains. Yeah. A lot in Ireland.
Is that where they found a lot in Ireland?
Mm.
Wow. So when you think about
and the tallest person that's ever been was 8 foot something.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Do you think they were like communities then? A community, giant? Would they been called giants, tall people, or do you know?
I don't know. It's odd, isn't it? Because they're finding these remains of giants, and yet if you go somewhere and it's like built quite a while ago, have you noticed how small the properties are? How small the doorways were?
When we're going to eat them every time. Yeah.
Because people were tiny.
Yeah.
So how have we gone from tall to small, and then to like the size that we are now?
Yeah. I mean, some doors you see,
you have to bend.
Even when you go to old castles, you know, the doorways to get in. Yeah. I mean, the archways, they're normally like quite big, and
so we've gone from one extreme to other to like middle height
to where we are now.
Yeah.
Do you know? I read they believe there is a
I love BFG
below the pyramids, and they won't let them dig down to see, possibly, but they won't let them dig down on that ranch. Go on, which ranch is it?
I've just been watching that.
Walker's Ranch. What do you call it?
Yeah, I was watching it all day over there. Skinwalker. That's amazing. That
underneath.
It's amazing.
They won't let them dig down to. One I was watching, but I don't know whether it was a real one. But it was supposed to be somebody had gone and done a documentary there, and one of the blokes got injured and he ended up in hospital, and he sort of like worked on this property. But even after he'd been in hospital, he actually went back and worked on it. And do you know, but when it comes to digging up ground, they won't let him dig ground up then. Now I've seen
I've
him.
been in a pyramid. I went down in a pyramid.
Have you been down in a pyramid? I won't
Yeah.
go in me. I'd be freaking to death to be
Small.
cursed.
Yeah, small pyramid in
Where
Egypt.
would they have lived? Good point. Where would they live? They haven't found any civilizations or ruins of huge buildings. Maybe they squashed them all, though, Steve.
Right.
Maybe they lived outdoors. Giants. They found giants' bones in Ireland.
Well, all over the world, but they found a lot in Ireland.
Like 8 feet. Not talking like 100 feet.
Tallest person to ever live 8 foot something, but yeah, they found giants' remains.
Yeah. Joe's put pyramids are very protected and sacred. They are. We have a giant's grave in Pleasington Cemetery in Blackburn, Lancashire. That might be an interesting one to look up and even maybe visit. So Joe's put, who built the pyramids and how? Who built the pyramids and how? Again, I don't know. I mean, obviously man built them. But
yeah, slaves, weren't it? But how?
But what kind of alien breed? What kind of alien breed were we? When pyramids were, like I said, if we were the conehead, when we're finding these conehead people, are these like an alien civilization that come in, and obviously from them mating, the heads got rounder and rounder.
I can't think of his name, but Tutankhamun's dad, he had an elongated skull. And he was the actual one that changed all the religion from all these gods into one god.
Yeah, he were Robbie.
But yeah, he had an elongated skull.
Who did?
Tutankhamun's dad, who I can't think what his bloody name is.
That's what I'm saying. So were they like a certain
He had an
breed,
elongated
The Great Pyramid in Egypt, it was constructed Giza during the reign of Pharaoh Khufu. And that were about 2,500 years before Christ.
Right.
So yes,
we're now 2,000 years after, so 4,000, nearly over 4,500 years ago.
Yeah,
the pyramids were built.
So this were before Christ come along.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So that could be when first aliens we come on this planet, and then from then the technology that went into like the pyramids, because there were a lot of hidden technology as well, I think, that were around in that time that maybe were buried or kept safe or whatever. And then over time, when it come to Jesus, for me, I mean, I don't get into religion or anything, but for me, Jesus, I think, would have been a man of like a cult leader kind of thing.
Yeah.
For me, back in that day, and I'm not going to rate him to like Charlie Manson and stuff like that, but it's got that cult breeding to it. But that's because of me with religion. I'm not a religious person.
What makes me think is with these pyramids, right?
That's right bad what I've just said.
You've got to think that these pyramids were built 2,500 years before Christ. So 4,500 years ago, okay? The pyramids were the tallest human-built structures until 1311 AD.
So they could be giants.
No. What I'm saying is nobody built anything as big as the pyramids for over 3,000 years after they were built.
Yeah.
Till 1311. And then Lincoln Cathedral with its original spire was actually the tallest building, bigger than any of the pyramids. But the pyramids were the tallest buildings for over 3,000 years. So they managed to build them.
And then nothing else in between.
Nothing bigger for 3,000 years. Do you know?
Yeah, how and why? It's just...
Because what happened were an alien landed and built the pyramids, but then another alien ship come in, the roundheads come in and squashed the long-headed ones, and then once they'd quashed, then mankind started. But because that technology were lost on them cone heads.
There's actually more than
It's
more than
thingy.
100 pyramids in Egypt as well.
Really? Wow.
They're still discovering, aren't they? They're still finding chambers.
Pyramid stones weighed more than an elephant.
I know they did.
So
So why did man lift them?
It's impossible. It's not improbable. It's impossible. I mean, you've seen height of them.
How many men would it take to lift them bricks, and to how they've placed them?
You couldn't.
They didn't have cranes. They didn't have.
No, it says here, the pyramids were not built by slaves. Contrary to popular belief, the builders of the pyramids were not slaves, either Israelite or other. Current research, especially the discovery of records from the time, indicate workers were well paid and well fed.
Still can't see how they've done it.
It seems likely that the workforce, as well as food and other essentials, came from all across Egypt.
Did you know that half of European men today share King Tut's DNA?
A what?
Half of the European men today share King Tutankhamun's DNA.
And he was an alien.
Half of European men.
I think he was an alien. I think they were all aliens. If he were around when pyramids were built, he were a cone-head alien.
He was Pharaoh.
Yeah, he were a cone-head. He were a cone-head, weren't he?
His dad had an elongated skull. I think of his name. It's going to do my head in.
I don't think man made the pyramids. I think that the history records were faked and they took over an alien navigation system or alien landmark and claimed them. Interesting. Akhenaten. A what?
Akhenaten was his dad. It was Nefertiti's husband. That's King Tut's dad. Akhenaten. And he had an elongated skull.
Different, could have been just like you said, different breeds or aliens coming in that couldn't live with each other. See, look at his shape. Not being funny, but if you look at his face and you look at just imagine that's just do a normal drawing of an alien's head. Even his eyes look alien.
Yeah.
The cheeks, the face, they've only fattened him up. To me, he's got an alien face. You know? But Steve could be right. It could have been an alien navigation system to do with pyramids. You know? But yeah, it could
We're saying that the pyramids are aligned with the stars, and also one of their air shafts may have functioned as a star shaft. So the actual shaft, where you look, if you stood there, you'd see a certain star or a constellation of stars.
It was a constellation. I'm not sure which one it was or is. But yeah, it's a constellation that they're all pointing up to. But again, that I know it sounds like out there, but you know, I might as well say it now. I've thought it. Yeah. But like you're on about stargates, but I've often wondered if that's what pyramids were used for. Travel.
Could be. It could be, Claire. What do you mean, like travel? Where they took off from? Where they, or literally like that travel, like a portal, like a portal kind of thing. Yeah. Some of them could be that they've not even found yet. Time travel, Joe's put. But is that a mask though, Claire? You know what that bloke's wearing? That bloke you've just shown me. Could that be a mask that he's wearing on his face to hide?
I don't know if it's true or not. I can't tell if it's true. But Napoleon Bonaparte once claimed you could build a wall around France from the stone of the pyramids.
Wow.
That's how much stone is used in them. Whether it's right or not, I don't know.
People have actually started pinching stone off at pyramids.
Have they really? I hope they get cursed.
Yeah, they have.
That's what I want to look at. I mean, yeah, but look at the face.
Yeah, but it's worn away, hasn't it?
No, I know it's worn away, but I'm on about, you know, like the eye shape and stuff. To me, the eye shapes and everything are very alien-like. You know, I mean, it's like a Darth Vader. You don't know whether that's
It's a sphinx.
Sphinx. But what I'm saying is, know what it is. But what I'm saying is, it's like an alien snake. It's like that, you know, like
That's
a cobra.
the headdress that they used to wear.
I know. Well, you don't know that. It could be a big, massive snake.
No, it's the head. It's the headwear.
It's things. What Steve put? Solar alignment points towards navigation. Sheer size would make them more visible for navigation, or a marker that's effective for humans would be immense. Yeah. Oh, I'll let you off then. Yeah, but again, that. Yeah, but nobody lived. Nobody's can go back, and that could be that mask there, what they wear. It could be for a breathing mask. You don't know, like that one. Could be just a mask that they had to wear on the faces. Look at neck; it's got a right long neck.
That's his beard.
Orion's belt is the constellation. Is what they.
No, Dave, not being on gin. Oh, what? Orion's belt? What?
Orion's belt is where they're supposed to point to. Orion's belt.
Really?
Yeah.
I used to love watching. I used to love looking at stars, and in fact, like you say, you know, finding
the three largest pyramids of the Giza pyramid complex point towards. Yeah.
Wow.
Orion's belt.
So if they're all pointing towards Orion's belt, I wonder what's behind the
pyramids align with.
I wonder if that's Orion. The portal. That's the portal that they come through. No, when they're coming through, like when aliens are flying through spaceships or whatever, I wonder whether it's Orion's belt where they come through. If they all point to that way.
Trying to find out.
That's it. I'll be stargazing when we're on holiday. I'll be just having camera up at stars and stargazing. I used to love doing that though. I mean, I used to love doing it in daytime. You know, when you were kids and you're like 6-week holidays and you'd be sunbathing for a bit of sun we got. You'd be laid on back garden and you'd be cloud watching. You know,
God, yeah.
And we just, or if we were like come home from school and you were 6-week holidays or and you were knocking about on street corners, we just lay down on concrete and either in daytime or at night and just look at stars
looking at sky.
And I don't think, for some reason, they don't do it as much now. I don't think people do it as much now. You know.
No, kids don't bloody play out as much, do they?
No,
on the bloody computers.
Joe's put there's loads. Oh, there's loads of holes up there. Also, don't forget.
There is black holes.
Black holes, yeah. Love whip.
Again, where do these black holes go to?
Yeah, Orion's belt is also called either the Three Kings or Three Sisters.
Orion's belt is Three Kings or Three Sisters. Oh, I've never heard it called that before. I've only ever heard it called Orion's belt.
How would they have known of Orion's belt? And constellations and.
Well, this is it, isn't it? Wormholes also. And your black holes, your wormholes.
You're not getting rude.
I am when I read wormhole, I've got to admit. Dear. Oh, dear.
Yeah,
I still do it. Often lay on the kids' trampoline and stare at the sky day or night.
I want to get a good telescope to take away with me. I want to get a good telescope to take away with me when we take Missy out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I can just sit and look.
And just gaze.
Just
gaze.
Take photos on.
Yeah.
Now that you can
I used to do it a lot. I used to do it a lot, looking up at stars. And I used to know where they all were. You know, now I ain't got a clue. I know where to look for Seven Sisters because you just look for that clump of stars. But then you've got like Frying Pan, you've got Boot or wherever. There's just so many things. There's like a frying pan shaped one, isn't there?
I've never heard of
What's a frying pan?
Called frying pan.
There is frying pan.
Plow, the one that goes like a kite.
I don't know. I thought it were a frying pan. I call it a frying pan. I make my own up. It's a frying pan. It looks like a frying pan. It's got an handle and then it goes round. Well, sort of round. It's like a funny oblong square. Oh no, it's none of them.
frying pan.
There's
never
a
seen
frying pan shape. I'll tell you if it were on there now, because it might not look like a frying. That's it. He's gone by. Oh, I'll leave it now. I saw it. It's because I'm only seeing bottom part of it. I'm not seeing other big bit to it. Yes, it's the navigation system, Gilly. Sailors used to follow the stars on the old sailing ships. They did. And if you watched Interstellar, it's a whole different story. What a film. Never seen it.
I'll have to watch that.
We'll have to have a look at it. You have to remember that one. Interstellar. Interstellar. Are you writing that down?
Yeah.
That's okay. You can send it me. So, I think we've come to the end of Chit Chat evening. We've all got to be up early in the morning. Claire for work, us for grandkids, and he's going to be and I don't know if we're going to get to sleep tomorrow night, because I know Arthur's not sleeping very well at the moment. So we shall see how it goes. Evening, Anthony. So so I want to say thank you to everybody for joining us. We've been on an hour and 20. I don't know how we've done it. Oh, thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
We'll click on the link after we've ended the live. So yeah, thank you for joining us. And I think we're going to start doing this regular, aren't we, again? I think we did it on a Wednesday, unless we're out investigating, but obviously if weather's crap, I think we're going to come on and do some topic talks. Just so we getting to see you guys. And
I'm going to have spare ones so you can't throw me under a bus.
You just have topics all right. Which one am I going to? I'll just put that one.
I hope everything's all right, Julia.
I hope everything's all right, Gillian. Are you going to say good night to Mr. Brown?
Good night, Mr. Brown.
It's good night from me.
It's good night from here. Good night from me.
And we shall see you all. I'll try and get live in the morning if John can cope with the boys, or John will have to come live and do the reading. Because I'm going to be struggling. So, right, we shall see you all tomorrow. Mwah. Much love to you all.
Night, everyone.
Bye.